Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and today we have another DougDoug video. This is who is the strongest creature in Skyrim, the tournament. I guess because on PC you can spawn anything in on how you want. You could easily probably set up an actual tournament if you like. I don't know. I'd just drop them into Whiterun. That'd be the best easy place to do it, or Riften. Probably Whiterun. Let's see how Doug chooses to do it, huh?
DougDoug, where we solve problems that no one has. I've always been curious, who is the strongest creature in Skyrim? There are
fucking mud crabs, especially like that crazy one that you can spawn in. Well, I guess that one's a mod, isn't it? There's like the king mud crab that has an insane reach.
There are 16 total categories of creatures in the game, and they obviously have, a huge variety of characteristics and strengths, but you always encounter them in isolation out in the wild. So it's really hard to know which creature would be the most powerful in like a straight up fight. So I figured the best
And I assume we're not like adding in like dragons and shit, right?
way to actually determine who's the strongest creature would obviously be a tournament, where all 16 Skyrim creatures are randomly seeded into a group stage, and then each group fights, and the 2 survivors of each group moves on. Then the remaining 8 creatures fight in a second group stage, and then the top 4 from there move into a 1v1 semifinals, followed by
I honestly have no idea where this is. I have played this game a lot, but when I did play it, I was using has anyone ever heard of the Catwalk? They have a new version out. Actually, they might even have a third version now. It's for the VR system, and it forces you to walk the literal distance of whatever it is you're playing. And I played it mainly in survival mode. Or actually, I also played it in survival mode with like a mod before there was an actual kind of remastered survival. I can't remember when they added that in, but yeah, the walking in real time from Whiterun to Riften is not fun if you think about it, if you have to do it in a VR system. Especially if you're on like a slide, I guess it's called a slide, not a slide wheel. It's like a treadmill. It's a slide mill, I guess, because it's a stationary treadmill, effectively. Anyway, the new version that I'm aware of is called the Catwalk VR 2. But there might be a third one now. Last time I looked it up was whether or not I wanted to upgrade, and I haven't done it. I also need a new VR system to even do any of that stuff. So it could be fun to do in a video, but I don't know if anyone actually wants to see that. I'm way too out of shape now. I'd get to Riften, and I'd just die and be like, all right, stream is over. I'll start this again tomorrow. And then never go back to it.
a grand final match to determine the strongest creature in Skyrim. Let's kick this tournament off with Group A. We've got Mammoths versus Ice Wraiths versus Horkers versus Snow Bears.
Okay, it sounds like the Horkers are going to get fucking screwed in this one. I don't know why you'd put Mammoths in there. That kind of seems a little rigged towards Mammoths. They were, well, not necessarily like super strong, but they were like HP tanks, effectively. Ice Swifts seem about right.
Let the battle begin.
It was definitely smart of Doug to put in like 4 of each versus 1-on-1. Because this way you can watch the carnage play out in real time with a bunch of shit happening on screen and hopefully not crash the game. We need Thomas the Train Engine in here. Huh. It actually looks more like I honestly think the Wisps might win just for the fact that they're not doing anything. Or maybe they're already dead. Shit.
And that's it for the first battle. The Mammoths win the group with the Snow Bears in second place, so both creatures will move on to the next stage.
Oh, I see how he's doing it.
In Group B, we have 5 snowy SaberCats versus 5 horses versus 5 trolls versus 5 slaughterfish, which are just...
Slaughterfish are going to win this one. No doubt. This is definitely the slaughterfish are totally going to win this one.
sort of swimming around in the ground.
They're going to win because they're not going to get attacked by anything. And it's just going to lock.
Your horses, SaberCats. The fight hasn't started quite yet. Begin.
I thought it would be really funny if they just all attack Doug. Just out of nowhere, they all turn and attack him.
One of the SaberCats quickly wipes out all of the slaughterfish.
No!
Looks like the horses are sandwiched in between
Fucking
the trolls
bullshit.
and the SaberCats. Ooh, SaberCats win by a wide margin. Congratulations.
Yeah, they fucking crushed it. So it's SaberCats and trolls.
Congratulations to the trolls in second place and the cats in first place. You move on to the next group stage. Giant frost spiders versus
I
5.
hated those things. Anytime I went in, the first time you see a giant frost spider, especially if you don't like spiders, freaked me the fuck out.
5 elk versus 5 pit wolves versus 5 skeevers. Let the battle begin.
Okay, the skeevers are fucked. I think the spiders might win this one.
Well, the wolves went right for the skeevers.
Right.
The elk just immediately ran out of the arena, so they are disqualified. And then the frost
Okay, well, you should probably just redo this whole run then.
spiders came in and just sort of cleaned up the remaining wolves. So with that, the frost
I can't remember, though, if the elks just automatically run from everything, so that might be part of the problem. I don't remember if they ever actually attack you. Now I want to play Skyrim again, damn it.
spiders win the group, advancing with the wolves to the next stage. Lastly, we have Group D. 5 foxes versus 5 spriggans versus 5 charis versus 5 mud crabs.
Yeah, see, like, the mud crabs would have been, like, it would have been better to put this into smaller tiers, maybe. Do like a lightweight class, a heavyweight class type of thing. Spriggans are probably going to win this
Spriggan
one.
actually cast a spell on the foxes to control them and make them their allies, which was a pretty strong tactic. Let the battle begin.
Yeah, the Spriggans are just fucking assholes all around, no matter what happens with them. Yeah, they're just gonna fucking wreck it.
The foxes immediately went for the charis, and the charis strike back against them and the mud crabs. The
To be fair, I think the Charis have some crazy, like, poison blight ability, don't they?
Spriggans come in to finish the charis off, but they are extremely strong.
Yeah, the Charis are fucking murdering the Spriggan. I was not expecting that.
Comes down to a 1v1 battle between charis and spriggan, with the charis just barely clutching it out.
All right.
Actually, there's just one fox that didn't really fight. So technically, the foxes live longer and come in second place in the group in advance. Congratulations to the foxes and the charis for
No, that was bullshit. You fucking know it.
moving on. Now the remaining 8 creatures are reseeded into a new group.
Because the whole point was to see if they were stronger, not if they could last longer by technicalities, right? Well, the Spriggan are obviously stronger than the foxes, regardless of the technicalities. So I call bullshit on that one.
Already it's much more competitive, with most of the weaker creatures being weeded out. We begin with Group A. 5 mammoths versus 5 pit wolves versus 5 foxes versus 5 snowy SaberCats.
Yeah, well, the foxes are fucked. The wolves are probably fucked. It's going to be down to the SaberCats and the mammoths unless something else
Stage
weird
is set.
happens.
Let the battle begin.
I think what was weird, though, is they were all aimed at the mammoths, so that was kind of weird. But maybe that's just a quirk of how the hold system works. Yeah, the mammoths look like the mammoths are going to fucking murder the shit out of everything.
With ruthless efficiency, the mammoths take it over all the other creatures. Congratulations to the SaberCats and to the mammoths, who move on to the semifinals.
Okay, so that still makes sense. The SaberCats and the mammoths, yeah.
Group B. 5 trolls versus 5 snow bears versus 5 charis versus 5 giant frost spiders.
Charis sounds like it's going to win here.
The stage is set. Let the battle begin.
The problem is the spiders are focusing on you. Oh, there
The
we
charis
go.
immediately go for the trolls. And so do the bears. And so do the frost spiders.
Yeah,
So
trolls
it turns
are
out
fucked.
that charis, snow bears, and spiders don't actually attack each other. Like, they don't seem to be enemies in the game itself. And
Okay, that's actually pretty funny. I wonder if that is the reason that some of it seems so like one-sided in some of these battles.
won't do any damage or fight in the wild. And this obviously will not work for this tournament. So instead, I used the console to manually add the Command Animal spell to my character and remove all cooldowns. So now I can cast Command Animal to make half of the remaining creatures my allies and fight the other half to the death.
Okay.
Once the fighting recommences, the Chars are ganged on by the bears and the spiders and are taken out in third place. Then in a very tense 1v1 fight, the frost spiders barely edge out a win over the snow bears. Both spiders and bears will move on to the semifinals.
Somehow I feel this entire video could have been done better. But having said that, it's still pretty entertaining.
This set the stage for our semifinals. Mammoth versus Giant
When I say better, I just mean more fair.
Frost Spider and SaberCat versus Snow Bear. Our first semifinals, Mammoths versus Giant Frost Spiders.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, I honestly thought the mammoths were gonna kill it, but I don't know.
Mammoths just seem unstoppable, though.
Yeah,
They
okay,
sweep through
they
the
are.
spiders, only losing a single mammoth, and secure themselves a spot in the grand finals. The second semifinal is 5 snowy
Which means the mammoths are gonna totally fucking win just because of their health levels.
SaberCats versus 5 Snow Bears.
I mean, these two are probably pretty evenly matched.
This was another situation where the animals won't actually fight each other naturally. They don't seem to have any problem with each other, and they just really want to kill me. So to get around this, I spawned the SaberCats first and then cast Command Animal on them, so they become my allies. Then I spawned the Snow Bears, and now they want to kill each other.
This looks like a pretty even battle, I think.
And the bears take it solidly, only losing 2 bears in the entire fight. Very impressive performance.
I was surprised.
And
I
this
thought the
means that our
SaberCats-
grand finals is a rematch between the Snow Bears and the Mammoths.
Yeah, the mammoths are fucking gonna win.
Mammoths and the Bears fought in the first group stage, and Mammoths won there, but there were a bunch of other animals there too, and the Snow Bears weren't very coordinated in their fighting. So they might fare better here without ice wraiths to distract them. So let the finals begin.
I doubt it. Just the amount of health that the mammoths have. Yeah, the mammoths are fucking murdering everything.
And only losing a single fighter, the Mammoths give a dominant performance to show that they are, in fact, the best creature in Skyrim.
I still would have brought a fucking dragon in to see what would happen. I mean, obviously that's an automatic win, but
And I was
still.
actually curious, like, how much better Mammoths were. So I was like, could 5 Mammoths beat 15 bears? No, they can't.
Oh, okay.
15 bears will absolutely crush 5 Mammoths. In
Okay.
fact, 10 bears also crushed 5 Mammoths, so it's not quite as uneven as I thought. So then I tried with 8 bears versus 5 Mammoths. The first time, the Mammoths crushed the bears, but the second time, the 8 bears absolutely destroyed the Mammoths.
Okay, so then the only thing that makes sense here is there's like hitbox problems, but that's also just like Skyrim in general. Or let me rephrase that. That's Bethesda in general.
And then the third attempt, the 8 bears lost again, but it was a much closer fight. The fighting potential of the bears actually seems to be a lot higher than what we saw.
Yeah, I think the bears probably have better at like being able to hit actual things, but I think the mammoth's hitbox is just, if they get in that golden like area ratio, they're just gonna murder anything they're
in
near.
this tournament. It seems like they have the potential to win. Like we saw that in the 8 versus 5 battles, but they just don't have the consistency. So maybe 5 bears could actually kill 5 mammoths if they were coordinated and were fighting well in that particular battle. But in the end, the bears did not perform well in this tournament. And
I guess one way you could think about it is, can you look up their attacks? Can you look up their health and whatnot? Like obviously the mammoths are gonna have way higher health and everything, but it looks like they kept getting stuck on each other on rocks and shit. It's just their hitboxes are probably weird. There's a whole bunch of factors that probably can't be just like controlled from just randomly picking fights over and over.
they'll just have to accept that mammoths are the best creature in Skyrim.
Sure, they
Okay,
kind
with
of
that
are.
shit out of the way, let's get to the real battle. 25
Yeah, there we go. It's all the mud crabs in the world.
mud crabs versus 25 orcers. Let's fucking go!
Yeah, it should have been this battle from the beginning. Looks like Horkers are losing this one.
And mud crabs take it. Let's fucking go! I think
I love how Doug's screaming multiple voices in the background. It's
Thanks
perfect.
for watching. I hope this was informative.
Yes, it was very informative. Thank you. I want to go back to Skyrim now, just from this video, not from the other Skyrim videos, but this one specifically, to test out a bunch of shit. But maybe break out the VR system and the treadmill. Well, okay, it's a slide mill. They're called slide mills, and they have new ones. We should actually take a look at one of the new slide mills. That could be fun. I just don't like exercise. All right.